So I'm not going to be on this live long, but I just wanted to come on here and share the fact that I recently joined the TikTok world. So now I'm a TikToker. And I'm really happy that I waited so long to get on TikTok because, baby, I could see how you could get sucked into just all of the different TikTok gurus. Like, everybody on TikTok is like it's so many people on there that feel like they just basically done unlocked the riddle of the matrix. And it's like it's a place where you can sell stuff. It's a place that could be real gimmicky. It's a place where you could just really just like like be into yourself, like just really get into you. It's a place where you could like do skits and stories. It's such a diverse place. And baby, I could see, the ability to slide down a rabbit hole. Hey, Aaron, on the good TikTok. You feel me? So, yeah, I've joined TikTok. I've been having a little bit of, success with some of my videos. I accidentally created two pages, but I'm not gonna be posting on the Tila Lorraine page. Like that was an accident because I got two Facebook pages, so I guess it just automatically gave me two TikTok pages. But I'm not gonna be posted on the Tila Lorraine page. I want to kind of keep it to the Kaneem Mafa because that's like literally my internet alias, if you will, or my internet persona, and also just the person that I like to be when I'm in super public spaces or if I'm speaking or at a conference or something. Kadeen is the energy that I prefer to channel. Tila is more sacred and private. Like I do have my Tila page still set up on Facebook because that's how I stay in communication with family members and people who live in, the town where I grew up at. So, a lot of people, um, Tila used to be the name that everybody could call me, but that's not a name I like everybody to call me anymore. I let some people that I work with get away with calling me the name because it is my legal name. So when I'm at work, you know, that's the name you know me by. But sometimes I be ready to check motherfuckers and be like, look, we don't work together no more. Stop calling me that. You know. So Tila is, I'm very funny acting about, how Tila is used because Tila has carried a lot of trauma. Tila has, I don't want to erase it, you know, I'm healing from, the name Antoine, like hearing that name, because I realized that's a part of me too. That was the name that my father gave me, Antoine Leray. So I'm healing from, hearing that name. But it's like, if you respect me and you love me, then call me what I asked to be called. Don't call me what you feel comfortable calling me or what you want to call me. Call me what I asked to be called. It's about respect. If you ask me to call you something, and you ask me to respect you in a certain way, then that's what I'm gonna do. It's as simple as that. I don't care if I change my name every 15 minutes. If you love me, then change with me, grow with me. If not, then vacate the premises, boo. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this whole Kamala. Like, I've been digesting a whole lot of Kamala Harris and a whole lot of Donald Trump content. And from what I am seeing, is that there's no way around this. People are trying to depict Kamala as the lesser of two evils, but it's really, this is such a rabbit hole. This is such a conundrum. This is like literally, I think the band aid about to fall off because people are saying that um, what Donald Trump wants to enact in Project 2025 is a problem, but we live in a patriarchal world. Like we live not just a patriarchal nation, a patriarchal world. And think of all the threats that America can potentially face having a woman as the president of the United States when a lot of our countries are governed by patriarchal religions and have patriarchal beliefs and view women as inferior. Like this is a lose-lose situation. There is no lesser of two evils in this particular thing, because globally we have to think what it's gonna look like to have a woman as the president. It'll be beautiful. We'll be singing "Kumbaya" in America. Oh, we've got the first. She's of color, and she's a woman. Kumbaya, kumbaya. But globally, America will be vulnerable. And this is where I'm at with it. You know how to play devil's advocate, because honestly, it's like there's a part of me that feels like, at last the karma has come along. Like there's a part of me that really is like, child, I don't know if you remember watching um what was the name of that series about the werewolves and the vampires, and I can't think of it. It was a whole series where the little white girl fell in love with the and he turned her. What's the name of that? It was, one of them was like Dawn of the Eclipse or something like that, but it was a whole trilogy of, hey Fatima, it was a whole like trilogy of like these little vampire movies. And in one of the last ones, one of the vampires was like on the field, and they were coming towards him to destroy him, to rip him apart, and he hadn't been able to die. And there was just this look on his face of release as they was coming towards him to rip him apart, and he was just like, at last. And to me, that's what this feels like there's a part of me that feels like, finally, like redemption for our ancestors who have been erased from history, redemption from our ancestors who have been silenced, redemption for our ancestors who were never here for this make believe democracy. Like, there's a part of me that's like, let the cards fall where they may. Karma is a universal law. Ashe. Like, there's a part of me that feels like that. And there's another part of me, the human part of me, that's like, what about, my family and my loved ones, and the new babies that are coming into the world? And so there's a part of me that has compassion and concern and worry for my loved ones and how they will navigate this shifting economy, this shifting society, these extreme laws that are coming, these policies, all of these things that are coming to impact us, further oppress, further enslave us as a people. Like, how will they navigate that? So there's a part of me that is struggling with that, and there's a part of me that has concerns about that. But then there's another part of me that's feeling like that vampire in that vampire movie, and just like, oh, finally. Like, it's like, it's about time for us. It's like there's a part of me that just feels like it's about time. Like, girl, y'all took forever, bitch. Like, girl. There's a part of, like, so I'm the Gemini in me is very perplexed, doing this paradigm, because I'm contradicting myself left and right, because there's the human side, there's the flesh, that has been brainwashed, that has been programmed and cannot see beyond this reality, this dimension. And then there's the spiritual side of me that understands that our souls are eternal. They were here before America came into fruition, and they will exist after America becomes whatever America becomes in some shape, fashion, form, or whatever. And so there's the celestial, spiritual side of me that is kind of at war with the physical body that has to navigate this plane. And this election has really like it's really brought up those feelings for me. How you doing, Fatima? How's your healing process going? I hope you're having a amazing supernatural recovery over there. But yeah, I wanted to, throw that in right fast. But yeah, so that's where I kind of am with this election because I don't see it going good either way. I think that if Donald Trump gets elected, his head is gonna get bigger, and his head is already so big. His head is already so big. It's massive. And him winning, oh, goodness. If Kamala wins, she's gonna be a straight up puppet. Like it's gonna be very much I'm under a spell. I don't wanna break free. You can make a slave out of me. That's what Kamala gonna give. She gonna give that to, the people who put her in office. It's gonna be very much, I'm under a spell. I don't wanna break free. That's what Kamala gonna give. And then Donald Trump gonna give. It's too big. It's too wide. It won't fit. He got a big ego. So like it's like either way, this is not gonna be good. It's the puppet versus the juggernaut, the jughead. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be that. Thank you so much, Mother. The sacrifice has gone great. I'm healing super fast. Just now, after some days, I'm getting phantom jolts. Oh, yes. I know all about them. I didn't have too many of them this time. That was really the first. And that's your nerve endings. Yeah, that's your nerve endings. They're still there. Oh, it's alive. Oh, it's alive. Yes, on the woman, on the woman from Hindustan, aka Barat with the demonic smiles is definitely a public. Oh, you talking about and I didn't know that when she was born, her birth certificate said she was white. I did not know that. So she's had a completely different narrative than the population that she's now claiming. It's a whole lot of magics that are going on. People are definitely casting spells and doing rituals left and right behind the scenes. I definitely think that it's a lot of that going on. I definitely think it's a lot of spell work and magic going on. But this is just I feel like this is just a time for a lot of us to just truly go within ourselves, to reconnect with to reconnect with our childlike self, that to reconnect with our consciousness, to reconnect with that still small voice, and not necessarily the voice of, like religious doctrines that have been ingrained in our head and these things that we just consistently parakeet just because that's what we've been programmed to do, but like really really getting in touch with that voice that lives in us, that consciousness. For Pinocchio it was Jiminy the Cricket, but just like connecting with that small voice in our head that guides us in those times where we are uncertain and we're unsure. Like I think that this is definitely the time to like to really be thoughtful about what we consume, to really be thoughtful about what we put into our bodies, what we feed our brains, just what we feed our spirits, like literally what we're consuming virtually, what we're consuming physically, everything that's going into our diet, because these are, like they say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. How you live is how you die. And so just being really, and that's why die is in the word diet. How you live is how you die. If it brings you comfort, if you enjoy it, if you willing to if you willing to take your lick for your choices, then I'm definitely not here to judge you. But this is really a time where, I was talking to my mama the other day, and this is generational in our family. When my grandmother got ready to leave up out of here, my grandmother, would tell us to bring stuff to the hospital that she knew she didn't have no business with: cheeseburgers, hamburgers, chili dogs, just stuff. But nobody said anything because it was well with her soul. She had made peace with it. She was ready to go. So, you don't have to live a perfect patty life and eat, super healthy and make super healthy conscious choices, as long as you've made peace with the outcome of your choices, as long as it's well with your soul. Live your life how you want to live your life. It's your journey, it's your path. So do what you want to do with it. But at the end of the day, make sure you're prepared to reap the harvest of your choices. That's the bottom line. And so, I think that this is very much a season where we need to be mindful of the things that we consume. Again, whether it is what we're consuming through media, what we're consuming into our bodies, the drugs that we're using, whatever it is that you do for joy, whether it's shopping, retail therapy, you know, if it's fight club, whatever it is that you give your energy to, lend your time to, is centered in your existence and how you navigate society. It's really a season to reflect upon that, and to review that, and to inspect that, and to ask yourself, okay, is this a hill I'm ready to die on? Does this mean that much to me? Is this that important to me? Because basically, I'm gonna say this in layman's terms: it's time to get your house in order. It's time to get your affairs in order. They say you need to get right with Jesus. I'm gonna say you need to get right with just us. JES, just us, which means you need to get right with yourself. Make sure it's well with your soul. When they say get right with Jesus, I'm saying get right with just us. Get right with yourself. Get your affairs in order. Get right with you. Make sure you good. Make sure you good with you. Absolutely witchcraft. And they have zero respect and openly mock the American Negro. And to be honest, let me say, whilst we continue to wait for the penny to drop, because baby, next year, a lot of people got expectations. A lot of people think that a lot of people think that this is about to be an amazing turn. I think that prosperity is coming for people who have um, people who have been kept in the dark, people who have been suffering. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than other people and that I somehow deserve to be exalted or to be lifted up. But I know one thing. You can't stay down forever. Every dog gotta have its day. And girl, I've yet to have mine. I've yet to have my moment to shine on the main stage. I've yet to have it. So hey, People could call me what they want. You know, they could say, "Oh, you must be the Antichrist," or "Oh, you must be." No, you children been getting y'all 15 minutes of fame. You children been selling out. You children been making your business deals and doing your back, your behind the scenes handshaking and all that. You've been doing that, and so it's my season now. And I waited and I waited and I suffered. So, I don't think that everybody's going to be suffering. I don't think that everybody's going to be doing bad. I think that the ones that y'all pushed out and y'all tried to keep out, I think this is our season. I think this is our turn. And I already know what propaganda is going to do. Y'all going to try to change the narrative and make it look like we somehow demonic. But meanwhile, all you motherfuckers was the ones that was doing the blood rituals and you was behind the scenes shaking hands with demons and higher level spirits. And now your season is over. It's ended for you. And those of us who stayed to the background, those of us who sit to the back of the bus, those of us who waited, you know what I'm saying? Because whatever my spirituality is, I've never had to participate in a demonic ritual. I think, and if I'm being totally honest, when I was 13 years old, I was in a mental hospital with someone who was a devil worshiper. And we called on Satan together. I was like 13 years old. And at this time, I felt totally rejected by the Christian faith because I was told I was going to hell because, I was gay. The pastor made me stand up in front of the church and apologize for being gay, humiliated me, made my cousin stand up in front of the church and apologize for getting married out of wedlock and all this. So when I was 13 years old, we participated in a seance inside of a mental hospital and we all held hands and baby, we prayed to our understanding of the devil. Now, mind you, Barry was the devil worshiper. I wasn't, but I was like, I'm a Gemini child. I was 13 years old. Let's try it and see what happened. So, Barry was so sweet. Like, I know people who are Satanists. I know people who are devil worshippers who have treated me nicer than people who claim to be Christians and saints and stuff. So Barry was so sweet, like he would give me like the shirt off his back. But after we did that, things went so haywire. It was definitely some powerful ass energy because one of the children that was there, his name was Chucky. Chucky picked up a floor model TV and threw it across the room. And I had this Caucasian girl. I had ran my fingers through her hair and I was dragging her through the hallway by her hair. Like we all went haywire. We was fucking that facility up. And the next day, we all tried to run away. So we all climbed the fence and ran away. And we made it about 20 minutes away from the facility, but they tracked us down and brought us back. And ever since that day, I have never participated in a seance to call on Satan. Like, and I don't judge people who do because I've heard different stories about Satan. I've heard that Satan is also Prometheus, who was the one who brought the light to the people. So, I've done some research on Satanism. I've read a couple of books. And from what I understand, there is even in the Bible, it says that God and Satan have a relationship. Like Satan has access to God, so they have a relationship that's more complex than we as humans have the capacity to understand. So it's not my position to sit up here and say, "Oh, Satan is evil, Satan is bad." It was just that night scared me. It was a lot. It was a lot. And so because I didn't understand as a child, I saw the power, I saw what manifested, I saw what was possible, and so that scared me. So I did not I have never lent my energy to summoning anything like that again. And that's just because of my own personal fears because baby, it was some powerful people in that circle, and I knew I was one of them. And baby, I'm not gonna knowingly give my energy to something like that, but I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say if I was super, super mad or super, super angry or super, super disappointed, or super, super hurt, I don't know where it would take me. And this is why I do so much to try to shield my energy and to try to protect my light and to try not to go to that I don't even want to say that dark space because I'm dark skinned, but to try not to go to that chaotic and shadowy place. Um, Thank you. You are deserving of everything. You are the most deserving, while simultaneously stealing everything from you and not citing the obvious source. You right. You right. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Never underestimate the power of the two spirit. Right. And that was the first time that they put me, that was the second time that they, I think that was that the first time they used How Doll on me, but they did restrain me that night. Like they did restrain me. Y'all trapped, y'all tapped into the chaos energy to climb them walls. Oh yes, we did. Yes, we did. We was literally like we tore up the facility and we climbed the buildings and got out. Like we tore the facility up. Like they had to call in big old men for children. Like we was calling on some stuff, and honey, I was like, and I knew, I've always known that I was powerful, and that was when I realized, and I think our greatest power comes because we are two spirit beings, is being able to channel the chaos and the order, is being able to channel the storm and the peace. You're not going to summon that power if you are not willing to tap into all of it. You can't just channel the light. You have to be willing to channel the darkness as well. And a lot of us aren't strong enough to host that type of energy. A lot of us, we want to just focus on the light, because if you did try to channel that darkness, it will consume you. If you did try to channel that chaos, it will consume you. You wouldn't be able to come back from it. So that's one of the practices that I've had. Like, I don't directly call on the name of Satan or call on the name of Lucifer. I also don't call on the name of Jehovah or call on the name of Yahweh. I call on the name of my ancestors. I say my ancestors. I say God, Goddess. I say Mother, Father. I say the beginning and the end. I pray to the Trinity. And I'm sure in praying to these things, I'm tapping into aspects and elements of chaos, and I'm tapping into aspects of order. I'm tapping into aspects of dark, and I'm tapping into aspects of light, but I'm not naming specific entities, because when we start to name these energies specifically, then that's when we start to speak to the corruption. When you start to call on specific names, because once we name something, once we name a deity, once we name a source, once we specifically give it a specific name, we're trying to channel or connect with specific attributes, specific characters, a specific energy. And I'm not trying to tap into specific elements and specific energies. I'm trying to tap into the parts of it that resonate with me. And so I'm able to, when I call on my ancestors, I understand that when I use vague language like that, I'm channeling dark and light. I'm channeling chaos and order. I'm channeling masculine and feminine. I understand. I know what I'm doing. I know full well that I'm tapping into things that could be considered wicked or evil, and I'm also channeling things that could be considered righteous or holy, but I don't name them specifically because I don't want to intentionally call on something that I feel has been corrupted over time through how people have chose to use it, or how people have chose to view it, or how people have chose to look at it. I see the divine in a more abstract way. And so the way the divine shows up in me, it's not going to show up in a person who's intentionally calling on a specific name for a specific reason. No, I'm going to acknowledge all of it. I'm going to acknowledge, I'm not going to just acknowledge parts of it. I'm going to acknowledge all of it. That's why I've been very careful not to give specific names when I pray, when I meditate, because I want to tap into it, but I'm not trying to tap into the man made aspects of it. I'm not trying to tap into the aspects of it that have been distorted and that have been manipulated for for just greed and power, like, no, I want to tap into the purest parts of chaos and the purest parts of wholeness and holiness and righteousness, and even the purest parts, because like darkness and shadow and chaos, there are pure parts to them. Um they are necessary entities in society. And so there's a pureness that we can pull from that. There's a pureness we can pull from the darkest places and the brightest places. And so, that's why I always say, um, my name, the reason why Kaneen Mafa is important to me, it's not because of the fact that it is a name. It's because of what it represents in my mind's eye. Kaneen represents sovereignty. It represents sovereign masculinity and sovereign femininity. It represents knowingness. It represents autonomy. It represents guidance, because this is what a king and a queen are supposed to do. This is what a mother and a father are supposed to do. And so it's what it represents. Kaneem Mafa is a, it has a meaning. It means something. It's not just a name. It means something. It intentionally means something. And I want people to pull from the meaning, and to pull from the action, and to pull from the deeds, rather than remember my name. If people forget Tila, if people, even Tila means something though, because I've been told that Tila is a river in Guadalajara, and it's also fabric, which holds shit together. And I've been doing that for years. So, like the meaning behind the names and the intention behind using the name. But you don't have to necessarily like worship the name. Like, I don't need people to be like, oh, praise Kaneen Mafa, oh, blessings to Kaneen Mafa. No, under like honor the sovereignty, honor the autonomy, honor the guidance, honor those principles, honor the wholeness, like honor what the name stands for, honor what the name means, not necessarily just the name. Oh, that name is Kaneen. Oh, what a wonderful name, Kaneen. No, I don't I don't need people to do that. Like, I need people to celebrate and acknowledge the intentions. I need people to be like, okay, they always used to tell us that Kaneen means sovereignty, Kaneen means guidance, Kaneen means um Kaneem means autonomy. Like, these are like, so let's honor that. Let's celebrate that. Let's embody autonomy. Let's embody sovereignty. Let's embody wholeness. Let's embody masculine and feminine. Like, let's embody those principles. Let's embody those ideas. And that is the greatest way to honor, the legacy. Alchemy, just as our ancestors did. Right, right. It did feel liberating. Like it was scary, but it was a lot. Grand Rising, Faith, King, Queen, brother, sister. Yeah, friend. It's all of those things. Exactly. And so, because when you think of mother, father, you think of family. And, family is supposed to be caring and compassion, and it speaks to the relationship, we all have with one another. And so, I'm not really into the whole worshiping of names, and just like, praising names. I'm into, like understanding the intention behind the name and what the name means. That's important. But yeah, so I was just like, I like, to the point of the video. I think that either way, um it's not going to be good. Somebody said that the popular vote is to keep us busy, and that the electoral college vote has been bought and sold for centuries. And I definitely agree with that. There's a guy who's very controversial who I think lives in Georgia, and his name is Charleston White. Child, he's been saying a lot of stuff that I, find myself agreeing with, and I never would have thought I agreed with him. But this is true. While I don't consider myself to be a racist, or to be prejudiced towards Caucasian people. um they are not my first preference romantically. I do have a preference of more melanated people, although I would, date a Caucasian person. They're just not at the top of my list. Like, I wouldn't choose a Caucasian person as a priority, when it comes to dating or something like that. But my mind is open to it. Like, I'm not against it. Um, but he said that black and white together was Martin Luther King's dream. And, people used to think that he was crazy back in the day when he was talking about, black and white people being together. And, he was like, the machine gave us Martin Luther King. And I was talking to one of my oldest living relatives before she passed, and I asked her, because she one time one of her celebrated moments was, she was like, I think she was like 90 something years old, so she experienced going to the bathroom, having to go to a white bathroom because she said that the black bathroom was so nasty that you couldn't use it. And my question is, why was the black bathroom so nasty? Like, were Caucasian people going in black bathrooms and destroying them? Which would be interesting because they didn't want us in their bathrooms, but they were going in ours. Were they nasty because black people just weren't, keeping the bathrooms clean? They just didn't care about them. Like, why were black why was the black environment so unlivable, or black spaces so unlivable and so disgusting, that some of us were willing to risk our life, to risk our safety, to access white only spaces. I I will never understand why a lot of black people were so eager to have access to spaces that you weren't welcomed or wanted in. Like, for me, that doesn't add up for me. It's not making sense. Like, um, and that's not racist to say. That's not prejudice to say. If someone does not want you in a space, if someone doesn't is not welcoming you and you're not wanted, why would you want to be in that space? And that's the flaw for me in the movement, in the segregation movement, is like, we're always talking about, like, why did black people feel like we needed to be at their table? Why did we feel like we needed to be in their rooms? Why did we feel like, to me, it's just giving greed, and so when I look at it from a bigger lens, I'm saying, okay, were we toxic to each other? Were we harmful to each other? Did we not feel safe amongst each other? Were the resources too limited that we needed to expand in order for us to be able to sustain ourselves? Like, was was isolation and segregation harmful to us because we were becoming targets for violence? They were coming into our communities, doing things to us, because they wanted our resources, because they wanted, us to participate in their government and what they were doing. Like, was that a driving force for integration? Is that, we had to do this for our safety? We had to merge with them. We had to become a part of their society because this was important to our survival. This was important to our progression. Was it that? Because other than, if it wasn't that, I don't understand um why it was necessary for us to integrate, and I mean, even with integration, there has been those same casualties. There have been those same issues. There's been those same problems. And so, there's a I just I wouldn't have been much help in the civil rights movement because I never would have had a desire to go and eat whites only pie or use a white bathroom or to perform for white people, for a white audience at Carnegie Hall or to do some shit. I never would have, like, that would have never been a desire for me, because towards the end he started making sense. And that was the reason why they killed him. Because when he said, I've integrated my people into a burning house, hmm they needed us to integrate to participate in the maintenance of this Nazi global system. It would have failed almost immediately otherwise. The gag is we built both the colored and the white bathrooms. Come on, Gag Nation, gag us. Wait, because we were the landlords. We were the ones who owned all of the land and the farms. Yeah, and they tricked us into becoming last place because of because we didn't have I don't think that we had the same connection with the land. Like, I don't feel like we needed to have everything in writing. And that was how they were able to come in. Like, we had a spiritual, unwritten, spoken, relationship to the land and to the environment and to the cosmos and to everything. And they came in with that pen and paper and was willing to die for that pen and paper and made that pen and paper, gave that pen and paper power. But we weren't those people. We were storytellers. We were passing down, things orally. Like, we weren't attached to pen and paper. Like, we recorded stories through each other. We passed things down through each other. Like, we literally poured into one another. And they came with that pen and paper and they were willing to die for that pen and paper. And that's how they were able to take control because that pen that they use that tactic. And I think that that's ultimately been harmful, because when you really think about it, you literally have to harm nature in order to create the paper and the pen. So which one seems more thoughtful and more conscious of nature, orally passing down information, or destroying trees, pulling up resources from the ground so you can make pens and paper, or passing down something orally? Which one seems more considerate of nature? You ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. I'm finna go shuck and jive. I love you, Faith. You got to go do your little tap dance. You got to go do your tap dance, man. For massive. Ooh, if I had some clothes on, because I'm butt naked, chill, I would have stand up and gave you a little shuck and jive. That's why I ain't let the camera go too far down. Girl, a little mild shuck and jive, a little mild tap dance up on the plantation for me something. They burned down all our towns and cities' homes because their rejection was our protection and insulation. A small group of us, a small group of us agreed to it, because we wanted to be the talented 10, the pick me, the picking and e. Buy this, try this, pick me, picking and e. Oh yes. Scratching and surviving. Okay. Scratching and surviving. Hanging in a child line. Hey, we lucky we got up. Girl, I'm not about to play with you, Faith. I'm not about to do this with you. It's too early, Faith. It's too early. Hanging in a child line. Bitch, I'm not about to do this with you right now. No shade. All they had to do was dangle white rotten flesh in front of these Negroes to neutralize them entirely. And use today, and you see this today whenever they get an incline of wealth. Sell us a dream, baby. Baby, one woman I had shared this on my Instagram. She said, Kamala wouldn't take pictures with y'all and wouldn't be seen with y'all. Kamala needs y'all now. She done threw a barbecue. She let y'all drink all the check drinks y'all wanted to drink. She took a couple of pictures with y'all, knowing she wouldn't be seen with y'all in real life, nowhere, no how, no way. But she needs you niggas now. Girl, and that is no lie, girl. Girl, we know Kamala wouldn't piss on half of us if we was on fire, girl. Cause she says she's going to give $25,000 to first time homeowners who are middle class, baby. Have you heard that some people don't wait? Have you heard that some people don't have inner dialogue or conscious thoughts at all? And that comes from being so programmed by the matrix that you've lost access to that still small voice. And I'm not gonna lie, um, that's why I have to put my phone down. That's why I have to log out. That's why I've had to stay in tune with the arts and creating and painting, because I felt that I felt myself losing that connection. I felt that happening because I used to hear voices in my head all the time. Like there was always a full blown conversation going on. And then before I knew it, the conversation that was happening was just the conversations on social media, just the conversations that I was consuming virtually, just the conversations of things that were programming me, in society. It wasn't my own thoughts, it wasn't my own ancestral voices, it was society programming me. And that's when I had to start putting my phone down and I had to start unplugging so that I could nurture those voices that I used to hear. Because people will tell you, oh, if you hear voices in your head, if people talking to you, if you hold conversations with yourself, you crazy. Oh no. Oh no. No. I'm not like you, but I'm not crazy by a long shot. Oh no. Oh no. You know we love being naked, child. Okay, they give it right back. They give it right back to the white man through the white, yeah, through his tether, wait, through his tether, that woman. Cause she's gonna give all of the resources, child. Like she said, she's not doing anything specifically for black people, but equity will benefit black people because oftentimes black people are not, receiving. They're not in a position to be in the same place. So she said that she's by creating equity within our nation, that's going to by default benefit black people, but she's not doing anything for black people directly. And I saw this little white boy do a video called White Boy Privilege, and I noticed in the video that he was specific to say like Latin American and Asian American, but when he said black people, he just said black. So are we American? What's the tea with that? We love, wait, nah, 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 nah. And all the Taylor Port. As my friend Quavo would say, clown. Wow, thank you for that, Jim. Slave owner said the same thing. Girl, about equity. Yeah, like it's very important to unplug from the matrix because, I think that some people never really get to tap into that because the programming starts early. By me growing up, so I was born in New Orleans, but I was raised in a small country town where, I would be in nature all the time. I would be able to go for long walks and to be by myself, and my imagination was able to be healthy and strong, and I was able to envision worlds and open portals and all of that because of my deep southern upbringing, in more rural, many times off the grid areas. And so being, going to Mississippi as a child, being in the woods, being connected to nature, I was able to receive downloads and connections that a lot of children who grow up in really progressive environments that are always indoctrinating them and that are always forcing programming and propaganda on them, they don't really have the opportunity to access that small voice. They don't have the opportunity to access their own consciousness because their consciousness is being written for them. And so, that is why oftentimes people from the South, we don't need to use a whole lot of words. They call it making it plain. Whereas people in more metropolitan cities in the North and all that, they gotta tell you a whole long ass paragraph and write a whole book to say some shit that a person from the country could literally say in a sentence. They call it making it plain. And I never wanted to lose that ability. I never wanted to need to use a bunch of big words. I can, I have a lovely vocabulary because I used to, like read dictionaries and encyclopedias when I was little, and I still like to read. I don't read as much as I used to read because I find that that can be programming as well. I do read when I need to. I do, I do like to read articles. I like to read stories. I like to read poetry. But I try not to get too much into the technical things of it because, again, I said this before in one video and I'll say it again. Being smart does not equate intellect. You can be super, super smart, but not necessarily an actual intellect. You have um all of these things that you've learned and retained, um and it's just like reading a book about how to raise a child and how to take care of children. It's nothing like applied. It's nothing like something that you have put into practice. Like you could read it all day long, but until you've actually put it into practice and you realize that all of us are not the same, a lot of us are different. We move different, our DNA is different, we respond to things differently. And so you could read this book all you want to. It's not necessarily going to prepare you in the same way that actual real life experience is going to prepare you. So, yeah, applied learning versus I read a bunch of books. When you put it into practice, it don't always pan out the way the book told you it was gonna pan out. So I like to get into things. I like to get my hands dirty and be a part of it. I was supposed to be a preacher. Oh my goodness, you too. As we went to church night and day. I got beat for being different. Got beat by my uncle who used to get drunk and beat on me and my aunt and my brothers. Oh child, I know the feeling. Smart etymology is to cause pain. Oh baby, we got some teachers on this live. Baby, we got some teachers on here. But yeah, I can't stay on this live long because girl, I haven't even done my dilation for today. And I haven't done my dilation. I'm really, really trying to be better at, like not eating early in the day. I had my tea. I've been drinking my strong tea. I've been doing a lot of like healthy tincture herbs. And so like I'm really, really like on this process of like just trying to mentally, physically, and spiritually prepare myself. I think I'm gonna do some painting next week, but I gotta do my dilation session. I'm typically supposed to do it earlier. I haven't done it yet. That takes like 20 or 30 minutes, and it's a very uncomfortable process. But after I do that, I gotta, I'm working on my mom's book, so I gotta write a couple of poems out of the book. Then after that, I'm going to finally get something to eat because I have not eaten yet. The only thing that I've had is like some water, some of my tinctures, and some teas. And I'm on Eastern time, so it's like 11:14 now. So by the time I do my dilation session, it'll be close to 12 o'clock. Then I need to do some writing in my mom's book. So that's gonna move me closer to 1. So if I'm gonna stay on schedule and I'm gonna eat something by noon, I definitely need to go ahead and wrap this live up. But I wanted to check in with y'all, and it's taking a huge amount of discipline. What I find that a lot of my weight comes from is alcohol. I haven't had a drink. Tomorrow will be a week, and I feel lighter already. When I came back to Georgia, I was 193 pounds. I stepped on the scale today and I was going from 189 to 188. And I told y'all my goal was to get to 180 this month. So next month I could work on getting down to 170. Um, Y'all already know when I get down to my target weight, I want to be giving you androgyny. I want to be giving you male and female. I want to be able to do my little suits and stuff, and but I'm always gonna set more of my feminine. Don't ever think that just because I can show up in a more masculine way, I'm not gonna still be giving mother energy first and foremost. Like I'm always gonna resonate with my mothers, but I have this vision for myself. Like I see myself like doing I have a black tailor, a black indigenous tailor who knows how to make suits, and so I want to wear like androgynous suits. Like I want to give you like that. I feel like if for lack of a better it's somewhere between what's that black artist? Janelle Monae. I want to give you something between Janelle Monae, Grace Jones, and perhaps a little Ellen DeGeneres. Like I'm feeling like that in my in my evolution. Like just throw them together and just shake it up in a bowl. And a little bit of Janelle Monae when Janelle Monae was feeling more masculine and was doing the more masculine stuff. Mix that with a little bit of Grace Jones and then throw a little Ellen DeGeneres in there for some comic relief. Like that's where I see myself as I near my 50s, personality wise, because Grace Jones is the sexiness. Grace Jones is the confidence. Grace Jones is the I'm gonna I'm gonna be different. I'm not gonna try to fit into your box. And Janelle Monae is the talent, the creativity. Not to say that Grace isn't the talent and the creativity, but the talent and the creativity. And Ellen DeGeneres is the comedy, the comedy and the occasional butchness. So like those are like where I see myself like kind of like making my little mashup. Of course it's gonna be my own authentic because I'm gonna put my own spin on it. But I don't want to wear suits right now because I feel like I have too much body. Like like my breast is too big, my hips is too big, and so I need to slim down. I'm not trying to lose all the curves, but I do want the curves to be more concealable. I do want to be able to, I want to have the type of body where when I get ready to put that shit away, I'm like giving you like a little like a little mile stud, like okay, okay, you're looking butch. Okay, I see it for you. And then when I decide to do a 360 and throw on a dress that fit, you like, damn, I didn't know you had all that up under them clothes. Like I want my body back like that. Like I've had it like that before. I want it to be like that again. It was so funny because I was in a car with this cab driver. It was a black woman, and she was like, so she picked me up more than one time. So the first time she picked me up, she came and got me. I had on like some baggy clothes. And the second time she came and picked me up, I had on like this fitting blue dress. And she was like, damn, you had all that up. So like I'm feeling like I'm trying to get back to that tea. Cause like my back to my shapeshifter teas, bitch. Like I want to get back to my shapeshifter teas, baby. Yes, baby. Wait, I spoke to a pastor yesterday and asked him about where Israel is, and he said in the Middle East. I disagree. Israel is in North America, Utah specifically. Oh my goodness, Fatima. Oh wow. Thank you, Fatima. Exactly. Meanwhile, the church name was Mount Pisgah, Judah, Utah, Judah. Baby, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. Janelle Monae is amazing, ain't she? Salem, Janelle first record is crazy. I'm gonna have to go and look into that. And Orch Android, G- Judah, Salem. Like, everybody's saying that we don't know if Turtle Island was the motherland or if Africa was the motherland. So there are teachers who say everything is in reverse. There are teachers who say that a lot of the stuff, like, because there are pyramids over here too. Yeah, a suit would look nice. I can't wait to wear suits. I can't wait to give it in suits. Like, oh, I can't wait. And it's like, because I'm not gonna feel oppressed by them. Like how, like, I always be saying, the monkey suits. I'm not gonna it's still gonna be a monkey suit. We're not gonna not call it what it is. But I'm not going to feel as oppressed by them because I've had the opportunity to explore all of these different facets of myself. Right now, I'm wearing, some bones, some lamb bones, and some beef bones. You know what I'm saying? Like I've creatively had the opportunity to explore my identity and my expression and my creativity in so many different ways. And so I'm not going to feel oppressed. It's just going to be like a season. It's going to be like another season. So, people are going to be like, oh, you went from being such a free, creative, artistic spirit, but this is just another dimension of me as a being. You know what I'm saying? A man, a woman. It was, and our pyramids are older than over there. Oh, wow. So, Fatima, where are you now? What part of the world are you in now? Are you in the States now? Because I know you be traveling too. And there and there are more pyramids here too. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. My family are from Guyana, South Africa. Okay. Okay. That's why me and you click. But I'm based in the English plantation. Oh, wait, I love my tribe. I love my tribe, but I tell you, baby, we keep it real out here. Like, we be when them damn puppets come on here, when them damn Muppet babies come on here, they don't be ready for the conversation that we be having. I'm so happy that, I didn't give up and I kept going. And and even when I felt alone, I just kept communicating because it felt so good to be talking to people that sometimes, girl, I'd be like, I need to go do some research on that, girl. Nobody wants to be the smartest person in the room. You definitely want to be around other people who are brilliant and intelligent and well learned and just like, willing to explore. I am so happy that I have that type of social media connection. So like that this platform has become that. Um Ghana was named way after Guyana. So think they just copied the name. Fatima, girl, I like you. Said Jerusalem. Call it Judah, Jerusalem. Right. 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 Judah, Salem. Ain't that some shit? Salem is Jerusalem. 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 Tribe of Judah. It's only here. Everyone are MK Ultra. Okay. There's a lot of places in Virginia called the Salem. The colonists are diabolical. Salem witch trials. Jerusalem. Because, baby, there was power there. There was magic there. And they tried to make it look like it was just the Caucasians with their power and magic, girl. But stop. Why isn't You Can't Define My Coochie on Apple Music? Oh, because that was not made with that wasn't made with an original beat. That's why I redid it and called it Pussy and Niggas. Um yeah, I redid it. I redid the whole thing. I did it by myself that time. Uh, and it pays homage to all of the pussies. It pays homage to all of the vaginas, the wombs, the doorways, yes, the portals. You, Fatima, yes, I see you know something about that. She do you me. Don't tell me you pulling a Mary J on Faith, sis. And Cam is not a black woman, y'all. They say her birth certificate said white. Remember, Mary wanted all faith, love, don't live here anymore. Cam track record is working against black people. I love the original version. Well, I mean, we still perform it. Nothing like the original. Yeah, the original was more so just for like, and that really wasn't the original version because the original version was performed with Shigeisha, Shia Diamond. So that wasn't the original either. Like, You Can't Define My Pussy has shapeshifted many a times, but the original ingredient was me because I did come up with it. So it's still the original. As long as I'm there, it's the original. Um, Fatima on it. Okay, in the comment sections, down. Always giving it 10 toes down. Period. Yeah, but You Can't Define My Pussy literally came out, and I want to say 2015, like before I even met Natasha. I mean, Cam has a track record of working against black people such as Kevin Cooper, Jamal Truelove, Parents in Schools for Truancy. Child, that's why, it's just amazing. Like, we talking about if Donald Trump get elected, he's gonna become a dictator. But the way they just put this woman on the ticket without asking the people how they felt, it gave very much dictatorship. It gave very much dictatorship. It gave very much dictatorship. The way that they just introduced it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a version. That's what I'm gonna do with the new one. I'm gonna have it bounced out eventually. Yeah, but I'm about to go over to my TikTok later, girl. And girl, I'm about to be real, girl. I'm about to start back promoting booking TS Mammy. Because baby, I want to coin off that song, baby. So I'm about to start back promoting booking TS Mammy. And I'm going to put it on TikTok, honey. And baby, and before the day's in, honey, I'm gonna do a nasty old wiggle. I'm gonna do a nasty old wiggle. to booking TS Mammy. Yes, ma'am. A nasty old wickle. Yes, it's giving real dictation. I believe it's now or never for the Aborigine to nationalize and wake up from their slumber or continue to cast their vote, aka souls, to be owned by their next master. Baby, you better talk about it. That's why the purple ones gotta rise, baby. Yes, purple party. Yes, purple nation. Yes, Laylim Layler. Come on, step up out of it, baby. Step up out of it, baby. Step up out of the woods. Step up out the trees, baby. And guess what? Baby, if they got people, if I see someone, if I see some beings that are dedicated and that are talking some stuff I believe in, child, I get behind them. I support them. But I learned my lesson. Baby, I ain't jumping on no bandwagons too quick. Baby, I'm like silly from Color Purple. I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see what the wall gonna look like. But baby, you can't con me, you can't bribe me, you can't get me to endorse nothing. Baby, let me tell you something. I ain't got two pennies to rub together right now. And Kamala or Donald Trump could come to me and say, we'll give you $1 million to, and bitch, I wouldn't endorse either one of them hoes. Bitch, for $1 million, bitch. I wouldn't endorse either one of them hoes, bitch. That's one thing I can promise you, bitch. I stay broke, bitch. If I got to endorse him or her, bitch, I'm not, bitch. I can't. Not at this point. Not at this point. Like you said, it is this is the last thing. It's a lot of things that I would do. It's some cooning that I would do. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say I wouldn't pull a light tap dance. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say that there's not some things that I wouldn't do that weren't questionable or side eyeable. But I understand where we are as a people, like how serious this is. Girl, I can't endorse none of that foolishness. The closest I came to endorsing Kamala was saying, "Hey, you let everybody else do it." You know, that was the grandma voice. You let everybody else do it, and that's the truth. Why not let her try? That's how I feel about it. But either way, whoever win, it's not. I think that it's gonna be bad either way around. That's just how I feel. I don't think that us in particular are winning, but I don't look at it as a loss because my spiritual self doesn't see it as a loss. My spiritual self sees it as karma. My spiritual self sees it as the whole tape plan. My spiritual self sees it as balance. So I don't look at it as a total lose-lose situation, esoterically, celestially. I don't see it as a total lose-lose situation. Charleston White said this is the beginning of the fall of America. No, it's not the beginning of the fall. It's already been falling. This is just the clear indication. This the clear marker. This ain't the beginning of the fall. This bitch been crumbling. It's been crumbling. Slowly but surely. And now it's finna give landslide. It's about to give avalanche. That's the only thing that's changing. Girl, girl, look at that, girl. Girl, no, bitch, it's my pussy sweating or leaking, bitch. That's a wet spot that came from my cat, bitch. Girl, not the wet cooch, girl. Bitch, is that sweat or is it just wet, girl? Wait, hold on. Girl, girl, wait a minute, girl. Girl, no. Girl, what is that, girl? Girl, I gotta wash my sheets again, girl. Bitch. Bitch, what is that, girl? Girl, I was sitting on the bed, but that naked girl. Coochie motherfucking juices on the sheet, bitch. Girl, coochie motherfucking juices on the sheet, bitch. Bitch, what was leaking, bitch? What is that? You know I'm not used to this peritoneal, bitch. You know I'm not used to this peritoneal flap, girl. Bitch, I'm gonna have to take this sheet off the bed, girl. Damn, I just washed this sheet. Girl, let me do my ritual first, girl. Girl, no damn, girl. Big old. I'm so used to this Gucci bed. Me and lube, and I'm trying to understand this peritoneal, girl. I'm trying to understand, girl, what is going on, girl. This thing when I be dilating, girl, I have to use buku lube to get up in there, girl. But if I sat on it too long, juice gonna start running down this hole. Like, what's going on, fam? What is going on, fam? What is going on, fam? These are my friends. These are my friends. I got to use these girls now. I got to get on it, chill. I'm about to get on it. Let me go ahead get to my workout. But let's light a candle. Girl, I motherfucking done left a coochie stain on the bed, bitch. Girl, my first coochie stain. Girl, my first time leaving a coochie stain, girl. Girl, I don't know what it was, girl. I don't know what that was, girl. Girl, I don't know what type of discharge that was, girl. Now I got to learn my cooch all over again, girl. I didn't have these problems when I just had the regular old penile inversion, girl. I didn't have these problems. Coochie didn't give all that. I got to learn this girl all over again, girl. Okay, so we're lighting our candle for our ancestors, past, present, and future. What we gonna do? What we gonna do with this government, huh? Should we just throw the whole thing away? Should we just throw the whole thing away? No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna throw the whole. Are we gonna throw the whole thing away though? Anyway, as above, as above, so below. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above, so below. As within, so without. Thank you, God Goddess. Thank you, God Goddess. Amen. A woman. Lelim leler. Down but down that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning e and gani e yonko kalukula, which means I'm a child of God Goddess, and if I am, you know you are. Bound and round, both circle and square. We too speak life, so operations beware. Sending healing to those in despair. El Babosawa. We come in peace. No harm to any. Lelim leler. As I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with intensity on the spiritual plane, preparing us for the times that are now. Love y'all. Later. Let me dilate and go wash these sheets again. Leave my coochie stains on the fucking.